the glittering wings, and the bitter tear. In the heart of the vast and vibrant Lavender Valley, where the purple fields sway gently under the rising sun, there lived a butterfly so dazzling, so breathtakingly radiant, that every creature in the valley stopped in awe whenever she passed. Her name was Prisma. Prisma wasn't just any butterfly. Her wings shimmered in rainbow colors, glowing like soft jewels whenever the sunlight kissed them. She floated through the lavender fields like a living prism, scattering glimmers of light around her. And yes, she knew she was beautiful, perhaps a little too well. Camera descends. As the first rays of dawn spilled across the valley, Prisma fluttered gracefully through the lavender blossoms, dewdrops clinging to the petals like tiny diamonds. A breathtaking crane shot would reveal her dancing among the violet waves of flowers, the morning sun turning her wings into pure magic. Ruby the ladybug and little Nympha, a young dragonfly with pastel wings, often watched Prisma with round, admiring eyes. They dreamed of being like her, so elegant, so confident, so impossibly perfect. But Prisma, she soaked in their admiration like sunlight. She perched on tall lavender stems, allowing herself a regal pose. She groomed her wings with delicate precision, checking her reflection in tiny dewdrops, smiling proudly at her own beauty. One morning, the valley bustled with activity. Bees hummed, flowers swayed, and colors shimmered everywhere. But one bee Zimmy was spiraling around in confusion. He was completely lost. Prisma noticed him. She circled once around the frantic little bee, pointed a perfectly angled wing toward his hive, and watched him brighten with gratitude before flying off. And she made sure Ruby and Nympha were watching. Because to Prisma, a good deed wasn't truly good unless someone saw it from behind a leaf. The wise old snail Pacha observed her silently, his eyes, slow and thoughtful, followed her every move, not with admiration, but with something deeper, something knowing. Meanwhile, tiny Weavy, the beetle, struggled clumsily up a tall blade of grass.
Not again!
Prisma flew by, and the breeze from her wings knocked him right off, thankfully onto a soft leaf. She didn't notice. She rarely noticed anyone smaller than her. But the valley's peace wouldn't last. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon. The wind changed. Bees rushed home. Ruby scurried under a mushroom-shaped leaf. Calling goodbye, Nympha trembled nervously. Prisma was annoyed. The storm had interrupted her performance. In the room, a heavy raindrop splashed beside her.
Squeak!
Startling her so much, she darted under a large flower for shelter, frantically checking her wings for water stains. But elsewhere, trouble was rising like the storm itself. Weavy, munching on a leaf near a small creek, finally realized the water was rising fast. The peaceful stream transformed into a swirling, roaring current before he could scurry away. The ground shifted, and the leaf beneath him was torn into the flood. He screamed,
Hello?
but the storm
Is anyone
swallowed his
there?
tiny voice. Under her floral shelter, Prisma heard something, a faint cry, a plea swallowed by rain. She peeked out, hesitant, annoyed, uncertain. Through the sheets of water, she saw it, a small green speck being swept away. Weavy. Lightning lit the valley. The current carried him toward a small rocky ledge, toward a deadly miniature waterfall. Prisma froze. Raindrops battered her wings. She stepped back into safety. Her wings were everything.
Help me!
Her identity.
Help me! Help!
Her pride.
I'm gonna face this
Her
storm.
beauty.
I'm gonna face this
If she
storm.
flew into the storm, she might lose everything. Everything that made her, her. But then she saw Weevy's face, tiny, terrified, helpless. And something inside her cracked. With a sharp breath, Prisma burst from her shelter. She dove into the storm. Rain smacked her wings. Wind hurled her sideways. Her rainbow shimmer bled away in streaks of washed-out color. But she fought, hard. She dodged branches, dipped dangerously low, skimmed the churning waters, and finally reached Weevy with all her strength. She pushed him toward a low-hanging twig. He clung to it, shaking with fear and relief. Prisma tried to fly upward, but her wings betrayed her, waterlogged, heavy, colorless. A brutal gust slammed her onto the water's surface. She gasped, fighting to stay afloat, with her last ounce of strength. She grabbed onto the same twig Weevy held. The two of them clung on
I'm so
as the storm
cold.
raged around them. When the storm finally weakened, Ruby, Nympha, and Pacha peeked out from their shelters. They spotted the two small figures clinging to the branch. Relief washed over them, but also fear. Prisma wasn't moving much. When the valley quieted and the sun broke through, Prisma pulled herself onto the muddy bank. She was trembling, exhausted, broken. Then she looked at her wings, her precious wings, once shimmering rainbows,
Oh no!
now dull, torn, gray, colorless, lifeless. A single tear fell from her
Thank you
cheek,
so much, Prisma.
not because she had sacrificed too much, but because she felt she had lost who she was.
Her bravery
Everyone
is
ran to
truly
her weaving.
inspiring.
Nympha,
Yes, it certainly
even
is.
Zimmy. They praised
Beauty
her,
was unmatched.
thanked her, admired her bravery.
How sad.
They called her a hero,
It faded so quickly.
but Prisma heard none of it. All she saw was her reflection in a puddle, a butterfly she no longer recognized. Overwhelmed by grief, she turned away. She limped toward the forest's edge, toward a dark grove, away from the valley, away from admiration, away from herself. The creatures called after her. Pacha simply lowered his eyes. He knew. Some wounds weren't physical. Some wounds were deeper than rain. Days passed. The valley healed, blooming brighter than ever. But something was missing. An unspoken melancholy lingered. Weevy often retold the story of Prisma's bravery to young insects. They listened wide-eyed, amazed, Nympha. However, always glanced toward the dark grove with sadness, inside that gloomy forest. Prisma hid on a dead branch, avoiding sunlight, avoiding reflection, avoiding hope. A ray of light occasionally reached her, revealing her gray wings, and each time, Prisma recoiled as if it burned. She believed she had lost her worth, her identity, her beauty, her light. But what she couldn't see
And with a mighty flutter,
was that her story,
Prisma swooped in,
her sacrifice had
rescuing
become the
all of
valley's
us from the
brightest
great
lesson,
shadow.
a lesson about bravery,
And it was then that she
about
knew,
inner beauty,
with a heavy heart,
about love that
that
costs
the grove
something
would
real.
never be the same again.
And though she stayed hidden, the valley remembered her not as the butterfly with glittering rainbow wings, but as the butterfly who dared to fly into a storm to save someone small. A butterfly whose beauty had never truly been her wings, but her heart. The screen slowly pulls away. The valley glows. The forest remains shadowed, and Prisma sits alone, still lost, still grieving, still healing. But maybe, just maybe, healing takes time, and one day, a single ray of light might touch her wings again, and not cause her to hide, but help her begin to shine from the inside out.